that way. I just meant to say, you're great, Grace, and I'm with you. Or I'm not with you, I'm just, you know what I mean.
Really? Pan, you?
The way I see it, if you have to take Grace, then you definitely have to take me.
Of course, it's me. Because of me, this prophecy would come to be. My Olympus is gone, and you're all looking on at a stranger wearing my face. My Olympus is gone. Now I'm some other one. Just how long has she been in place? You set off hoping you could get to somewhere right, but it's been too many years since the mainland was in sight. There was a voice in me that shouted, Athena, you be strong. Be strong. No cost is great enough. It was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong, and now I don't know what the right thing is.
I'm sure she deserves it. That's such a punk thing to do. I would have to do like 3 more playthroughs. No, 2 more.
Look into me. I know what I see. Yes, a monster. I've met monsters who weren't monsters. I'm a monster to me. I'm sorry, Grace. I'm sorry, all of you. I wish Calliope could know it too. She does. She hears you.
The high road.
Are you finished? You've been talking forever.
We're done, yes.
And?
You certain about that chair, brother? You've always said you didn't want it.
I think it's about time, don't you?
Wait, you're leading the chorus now?
Only for the moment. That's what we need to tell you. We've decided to disband the chorus. No more laws, no more hiding from mortals. It's time the idols found a new way.
You're planning to tell everyone what we really are? Isn't that risky?
We'll give it some time to let those who are afraid go into hiding, but it needs to happen. We have to rejoin the world.
What about Athena? She can't be okay with this.
She won't fight it. She said, and I quote, "Whatever your decision, I will abide by it."
That's a switch.
The fight's just not in her anymore. She was so certain she was doing the right thing.
Oh, now that's an old tune.
Well, we'll see how long this new Athena lasts.
You all agreed to this? No argument?
No argument. Grace, you know us. We cannot order lunch without a good argument.
It's what Calliope fought for. It seems appropriate. I only wish you were here to see it.
Calliope would definitely approve.
Yes, well, it'll be up to us to pick up the pieces if this all falls apart.
We have to try. What other choice do we have?
This is a huge step. Can't believe it's happening.
Changes everywhere. Would you believe Apollo and I finally buried the hatchet?
Even immortals need to grow up sometime.
And give heartfelt apologies.
Which I should have offered long, long ago. Could you all give Grace and I a moment, please? Well, you did it. You survived.
We did it. I would have been lost if you hadn't stood beside me.
I was just trying to do the right thing.
And now you're leading the idols. I'm proud of you.
And you. You stood your ground with Athena and won. A feat even the mightiest idols have never accomplished.
Wasn't like I had much choice, right?
I want you to know that I'm not going anywhere. Whatever happens when we reveal ourselves, whatever comes, I go where you go.
I could get used to that.
I wouldn't be crimping your style? Is that how you say it?
If
Cramping.
you're 75, sure. Maybe let's get your vocabulary into this century at some point.
I was hoping you'd say that. What do you say, Grace? Ready to face the music one more time?
Always.
Two months later.
Of course you're both here. In my apartment. Why wouldn't you be?
We were waiting for you.
I'm told the concert went well. How do you feel?
I'm exhausted.
Somehow the Oracle has managed to get a recording of every show you've done. I believe she's a bit starstruck.
Oh,
You can
great.
tell her it's okay to come in person. She's on the list.
That would require her to get out from behind her screens.
Everyone here has also been busy. Would you like to hear the latest?
Ask what Apollo's
I'd
doing.
like to know what you've been up to, Apollo.
Other than whining like a sad puppy every moment that you've been away?
I haven't been... Well, all right. Maybe just a little. But mostly I've been taking charge of the idols remaining at Olympus, helping them ease into life with the mortals.
Every day he parades about the city with idols in tow like frightened ducklings, showing them how the world works.
But Apollo barely knows how the world works.
Well, that's what makes it funny. It's the blind leading the blind.
I've also been tidying up the beach house, finding the Oracle a new place to live.
A new place to live? Why?
So he can invite you to live in his little beachside hovel, that's why.
I was going to say that myself. Later, when you were finished and back for good.
I really like that idea. Assuming you've hosed the entire place down a few times.
I'm in charge of the renovations. I'd have preferred to burn the entire place down and start over, but...
It's quite livable now that Persephone's had her way with it. We can talk about this more later.
I heard Eros and Venus left the city together. Is that right?
You heard correctly. Venus wanted to use her fame to do good works as an activist, and Eros is assisting her.
Let's be realistic. He's there to catch her when her efforts inevitably implode.
You're being uncharitable, sister. I was at one of Venus's rallies, and it was rather invigorating.
Aphrodite always did love being adored by the masses.
Well, at any rate, Eros sounded keen. He thinks this is a much better approach than wallowing in Olympus.
You mean he's glad to have time to pursue a new lover or two?
Who could blame him?
What about Hecate and Asterion? Are they still at the reliquary?
Hecate leave the reliquary? I'd sooner believe the sun would go out.
It doesn't hurt that they seem enraptured with each other's company.
Asterion is all Hecate is willing to discuss. Do I need to know every detail of his sexual prowess? I do not.
Didn't Hecate say it is written that she and the Minotaur would eventually break up?
Well, eventually, for Hecate could be centuries from now.
In the meantime, she gushes about her new boyfriend like a schoolgirl.
You should hear Asterion, then. His gushing puts hers to shame. I'm happy for them both.
How about you, Persephone? Any big changes?
Not yet, though I may be selling the club very soon.
The underworld? Why?
I don't need a substitute for the real thing. That's all it ever was, and I'm fine with having neither. That said, I've been itching for a change. I believe it's time to move on to something else.
Do we get to know what that something else is?
No, you don't. I came by to give you all my regards, such as they are. After this, you likely won't see me for quite some time.
You will be missed, sister. More than you'll ever believe.
And Medusa? I take it she's no longer at the reliquary.
She was. For a few months.
There was an incident involving Hecate's new cat.
Oh.
Oh no.
Medusa was beside herself with apologies, but needless to say, she moved on rather quickly. We're not certain where.
Meaning what? Medusa is roaming the streets? Doing whatever she likes?
Not quite.
Medusa believed she might not be able to control her, appetite, so she asked us to put her in contact with the mortal government. They took her somewhere. It was her decision. The government is grateful. They even suggested we might see Hephaestus again.
Aphrodite's husband? He's alive?
So it appears. Who knows what he's been doing for the mortals since the war, but it would raise all our spirits to see him again.
Has anyone heard about Athena? It's been a while.
I have. She left the city, as she felt uncomfortable with all the attention on the idols.
Terrified, you mean?
It was more that mortals expected the goddess of wisdom to have sage advice, and she no longer trusts her judgment.
No surprise there.
You don't still worry about her, brother, after all she's done?
I think of her off in the far north, living alone in the wilderness, punishing herself until the end of her days. I know it's her own choosing, but it seems like such a waste.
Is Hermes still around? I'm surprised they're not here with the rest of you.
Well, we've barely seen them of late.
Hermes has been busy. They've become a social media darling, or so the Oracle tells me.
The truly amusing part is that they're not even trying to be famous. They simply can't help it.
Hermes likes to people please, it's true.
Hopefully it won't backfire on them. Fame is a double-edged sword.
Hermes lives a charmed life. Never fear.
Well, it's odd seeing their face on so many billboards, but I agree.
Oh, jeez.
Let Hermes have their fun.
What about Pan? I haven't seen him since the trial.
No one's seen him.
Should we be worried? It is Pan, and what he does will reflect on us all.
Pan is harmless.
Mostly harmless.
As far as I can tell, he did regret his involvement in Calliope's death. He'll lay low, at least for a time.
He'll be back with some new scheme to make us all groan.
You're not wrong.
I still can't believe it's all over.
Oh, it's scarcely over, Grace. Now that you've toppled the castle, it's barely just begun.
Oh, I didn't do that.
On the contrary, you absolutely did.
Perhaps we should leave you alone, Grace. You must be tired from your trip.
Perhaps a round of drinks at the underworld, in Calliope's honor.
I'd like that, actually.
Persephone, could we just meet you there?
Fine. I will, however, begin drinking without you.
Something on your mind, Apollo?
You, Grace. It's always you.
Take my hand for a minute. Let's stop and breathe for a moment. There's so much to like. Now I've opened my eyes. Finally stepped into the light. Wouldn't you know it was here the whole time? The courage we need to be joyful is something we'll build over time. I now know it's true, the answer is you. And I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
How will you feel years from now? Everything's changing so fast.
We have eternity to work it out. With you, I think it will last. The courage we need to be joyful, something you've helped me find. No matter where we go, we'll take it slow, and I'll hold your hand all the while. The courage we need to be joyful is something we'll build over time. No matter what we do, the answer is you. And I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
Oh shit, there it is. We did it. So yeah, that was my ending. Apparently there's only one ending, but apparently when it comes to the differences of said endings is who are the three idols that will be seated at the end. But pretty much the ending's the same, apparently no matter what. It just depends on how the journey can, from beginning to end, how it kind of works its way to that ending. So that's pretty much what at least the information I had to say. And now I gotta get all of them. So I'm gonna try and go the punk route, and then I'm gonna try and go the intelligible route. Actually, I'll probably save the punk route for last because that's the most daring of routes. So I'll do the punk route later, or like the last one. But I'll do the intelligence route first. After this one, then I'll do, and then. But those will be normal playthroughs. They won't be, on the rocks playthroughs. But yeah, I really actually enjoyed it. It's I have never played a musically based game before, to where the game kind of worked as an investigation game with dialogue and everything like that, but it was mainly it was an interactive musical, and I actually really enjoyed it. A lot of people would probably argue, is this a game? But that's always been the case when it came to like walking simulators and games without combat, all kinds of other stuff. So, due to the fact it's kind of a new genre, there's a lot of things for other developers to probably be inspired by something like this and grow this genre in a way, a musical based video game. Hopefully, someone out there that wants to make musical games will be inspired to make musical games and make different things out of something that was inspired by Stray Gods. I would love to see it. But if I would give this a score, you guys might think I would give it a 3 out of 5, but I actually loved the music well enough to give it a 4 out of 5. The music bumped it up a number. If it was just purely on gameplay and choices and things like that, it would be a 3 out of 5. But the music bumps it up 1 point. So there's my verdict. I actually really enjoyed it enough, and if you're a fan of musicals and stories like this, you'll probably love it too. That's all I have to say. I'll let the credits roll. I'll talk to you guys after the credits. Also, I think Laura will love this game, and she's the one that got it too. I was the one that introduced her to this game, so I think she's gonna really like this game. She's more the musical lover than I am.